Hello there. Welcome back to it. Today, foreign leaders across the world called President-elect Donald Trump to congratulate him on his Tuesday night victory. While Trump's supporters are ecstatic, much of the globe is asking, what exactly will a Trump administration's foreign policy look like? Here to answer, it's one of his advisors, McFarland, Fox News national security analyst and a member of Donald Trump's National Security Advisory Committee. Welcome back, KT.
Thank you. Pleasure.
All right. So is this going to be a non-interventionist administration?
You know, it's really fascinating. When Donald Trump and the other candidates, when there were 17 of them on the stage, and they all talked about, you know, the Iraq War, all the various issues, I was asked the next day, well, where would you put Trump? Is he a trigger-happy guy, or is he a isolationist? And I said, I'd put him smack dab in the middle where Ronald Reagan was.
Interesting.
You know, have a strong military, but you don't use it. And you have such a strong military that nobody picks a fight with you. But then if they're dumb enough to do it, then you respond.
Now, some of the names, and this is exciting for Fox, because I think we have the best concentration of talent in the world, certainly in the media world. And, you know, there are names like John Bolton being passed around. He's a Fox News contributor, former U.S. ambassador to the UN. They're talking about him possibly for Secretary of State. What role would you possibly play in the Trump administration?
Well,
and are you open to that? Are you open to...
Look, as I've said, I was a foot soldier in the Reagan Revolution, and I would be a foot soldier in this one, because I think every 40 years we get a national leader who comes in and cleans house and takes the status quo and shakes it up and rethinks American foreign policy.
Have you talked about that?
No.
Being part of that team?
No, but I certainly have talked about the substance of it. Where Hillary Clinton was always going to be the establishment candidate, the establishment president, and Trump has an opportunity, like Reagan had, comes around every, say, 40 years, to rethink the status quo. So what's the status quo in American foreign policy right now? Well, you know, it's let China do whatever China wants and not to question them on it, including taking over one of the world's major trade routes. Trump's very clearly said we're going to renegotiate those deals. The Iran nuclear deal, which gives them a path to nuclear weapons, he's clearly said he wants to renegotiate that. So
now, what do you do with the Iran deal? What is the United States capable of doing
at this point,
now that it's been executed?
I think you can do a lot on the sanctions. For example, Iran...
What can we do? What can a president do unilaterally, though? And would he have to act outside of Congress?
Well, very hard to do things unilaterally at this point. But what he could do is go, for example, to the international banking community. And we could, unilaterally, we could do things with our financial, you know, the world trades on dollars, for example. So that means American banks, so you could do that. The other thing is, though, that the Iranians have a new relationship that they're trying to foster with Russia, with Iran, Iraq, Russia, Syria. Is there some way that we can bust that little party up?
Yeah, well, that remains to be seen. Hopefully we do it without force, certainly. Okay, now last word, because I know you have the ear of, the Trump consortium.
Well, I don't really, but go ahead.
But I like to pretend that you do.
Oh, I know.
You're an impressive person.
Okay,
get them to nominate Judge Napolitano for the Supreme Court. I talked to the judge about it earlier
I have looked at, apparently in Judge Napolitano's Princeton yearbook, you know what somebody wrote in or under his picture? The most likely graduate of this class to be on the United States Supreme Court.
Works
for me.
No, how impressive would that be? He's one of our finest jurists.
He's one of the finest jurists in the country.
Absolutely. His mind is unparalleled, as is yours. KT, thank you for everything. Appreciate talking with you. Indeed.